So, I have some news. Good news, bad news, and some news. So, I've had a lot of comments asking for results on the Abomination custom. And this is kind of where the good news and bad news kind of clash. So, let me just give you the results here. This is what I've gotten on my Abomination. So, this is as updated as it gets. You may notice that he's missing his head, and I'm using the same right leg on this part of his body, and it is unpainted and unsculpted. And that is because this is a fail. It's a failure. I have tried everything I can. I've done as much research as I can to see how I could fix this problem. I've done experiments on this. I don't know how to fix it. There's so many problems with trying to finish this Abomination figure that it's not worth it. It's too much work. Takes too long. It's way too expensive. So I have a backup plan, a plan B. It's the cost is equivalent to trying to continue with this one. It's around $60-70 just to repair and continue building. But it would cost about $60-70 to do the same thing, but with a whole new action figure, start new, and there's no need to fix the problems or anything like that. So let me just list off the problems real quick, and then I'll get to my next idea. Issue 1, articulation. The articulation on this guy for a while was good, but then I ran into a problem. This arm right here, this joint, does not move at all. It is literally stuck in this position. This one is articulated. I can move the elbow in, I can move it out, I can do whatever. This one is as hard as a rock. I've tried everything I can to fix it. I've tried to lubricate it. I've tried boiling it. I've tried cutting it. I've tried to do everything. I don't know what made it stop. I don't know if there's a problem inside the arm that I can't get to without damaging the figure. I don't know if maybe when I was giving that glossy shine on some of the muscles here, if maybe some of the clear nail polish or the super glue got in there. Now it's permanently stuck. But like I said, I've tried cutting it, I've tried boiling it, I've tried lubricating it, I've tried to put all my force into making this thing move forwards, backwards. Nothing will work. And the same thing with this wrist piece here too. This will not move at all, and I've tried the same thing. I literally had to redo this hand, break off all the epoxy sculpt so that I could boil it, and then the paint came off. That didn't work. So it's the articulation, it's very limited, and I can't do much with it. If I wanted to make a stop motion film, couldn't do that. If I wanted to pose him, couldn't do that. If I literally just wanted to make a review on his articulation, I can't do that because it doesn't move. So that sucks. So then the second problem is price. And I'm not going to when it comes to price, I'm only going to be talking about parts for the action figure. I'm not talking about paint. I'm not talking about epoxy sculpt. I'm not talking about any of the tools that I need to make him a custom figure, add different details and stuff. I'm talking specifically about the head and the leg, specifically the leg, because it is the most expensive. I've done research on it, and for some reason, the leg and the leg itself, the left leg, it's $40 to $50. I've looked on it on eBay. I've looked on it on the Big Bad Toy Store. I've looked everywhere, and the action figure that comes with this leg, it's not. The action figure itself is not expensive at all. I could find that Gamerverse Iron Man for like less than $15, slightly used on eBay. And I found multiple of them. So it's, for some reason, it's specifically that mold for that leg that is $30 by itself. With Big Bad Toy Store, if you were to buy it unboxed, the total for the Iron Man and the leg is $44. And with tax and shipping, that adds up to about $50. So we're talking about spending $50 on a leg that, here's another issue. His height, he's not accurately as big as he's supposed to be. He is about, I don't have a tape measure on me, of course, but he stands around, if he had his head, he'd probably be about 11 inches. Let's just say 11, right? I went on a Marvel site, a fan fiction, no, I'm sorry, not fan fiction, a fan media, like Wikipedia Marvel site, and I looked up how tall is the MCU's Abomination in the Incredible Hulk movie. It says that alone he stands about 12 feet, right, in height. So the problem that I have with this guy, because action figures, usually when they're 6 to 7 inches, in that scale, an inch is basically a foot for them, right? So if I had just a normal-sized action figure, which, once again, I don't have on me, it would be 6 foot in that scale. This guy, despite the fact that it says 12 inches, he's not that tall. He's not. So I was either gypped by the action figure or lied to on Wikipedia. So I don't know, because I was going to pull this guy out later in the video because this was part of something else, but just for comparison, here is my Death action figure, Grim Reaper, that I've made that is almost completely done, compared to Abomination. Abomination literally has only 2 feet on this guy. He is supposed to be only half his size. Only half his size. He's supposed to be like head to waist. And if you look at the movie, I'll have the scene pop up right here. If you look at that, Abomination swings his arm and knocks out like 3 or 4 cops, but he has to literally bend down to wipe them out with his arms. So that's not accurate, and I don't know how to fix it other than maybe getting a Dremel and a drill, a lot more epoxy sculpt, which I have completely run out of, to put on his legs to make him taller, but then I'd have to pull off the waist, do the same thing, then I've had to elongate the arms to even it out. That's literally almost all the epoxy sculpt just to make this guy size accurate. So this is very much an expensive failure. Okay, so moving on to the third problem, the paint. And I'm not talking about the price of the paint, because I can get paint usually, they usually have it in stock at Hobby Lobby, and you get just some like primary colors and a couple of other standard colors. for $10, right? So you get 10, 11 paints for $10. So it's a decent price. I'm not complaining about that. What I am complaining about, though, is I have looked up lots of videos. I've Googled. I've done research on painter experts and stuff like that. I have been trying for so long to get this guy the right color. And I've got it pretty close. But if I have a pop-up picture right here, and you compare it, this guy's color to this guy's color, it's still not accurate. I don't know whether to make it lighter, darker, what colors to take out, what colors to add, the right percentages. Because when it comes to mixing paint, I am the worst at percentages. If I add too little, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'll add a little bit more. And it either ruins the color, or for the one part, let's say I'm just working for the arm, I'm like, that's still too much, and I'm tired, I don't want to finish. I don't want to do like the other arm because it's not even ready to do, and then that's wasted paint. Or I'm like, okay, this will be the perfect amount. I mix the paints together, and it's either not the perfect amount, and then I add all these different colors, and I add too much, or way too little, and then I have to remix it, and then the color is similar, but it's off. A lot of problems. And I know in the movie he looks yellow, but he's actually not yellow. He's a mix between like a dark olive green, blackish kind of wash, and then like a tan skin color kind of color scheme. Despite what you see in the movie, because in the movie, I've seen people argue about this a lot. It's traffic lights and fire from explosions that light him up and give him that look, and it kind of blurs out, or not blur, it throws out the blackness for the wash, and it throws out some of the green. Because if you look at this CGI picture that I just showed a minute ago, he's not yellow. So there's that. And also the head, I have no problem with buying the head for the, I forget if it's the Firefly action figure or what it is, but I have no problem with doing that. But the amount of work and painting and such that I have to put into that is ridiculous for something that's not even going to look as accurate as I want it to. So this is a failure. I don't really know what to do with it. I haven't worked on it for months. It's literally just been sitting on my floor getting dusty and spider webs on it. There are some details on here that I am, I guess, proud of myself of. Like the way that the arms are shaped, it has that perfect, it's a perfect amount of muscle mass in certain places that makes it look accurate to the movie where he's running up to the Humvee about to smash the guys with a car. Same with the backbones here. And I'm not talking about the spine. I'm talking about the other spinal columns here. I like those. The butt is just an absolute mess. And same with the chest. The chest looks really good and all that, but I can't. It's too expensive. So it's a fail. But I have an idea. Bear with me. So, and I've seen someone else do this, so I don't want to steal their idea, but at the same time, I don't want to copycat. So, if you know who I'm referring to, then you know. If you don't, I'm just not going to mention the name for both reasons. But I saw this guy on YouTube once, and he had the idea. And he did this not only for Abomination, but he also did this for the Edward Norton Hulk, which is the Superior Hulk. And I will be making a custom Edward Norton Hulk that's superposable, all that mess, with the same concept that he used, right? He had a Diamond Select Hulk. It's the one where he has like a bit of the longer hair, and he's got the purple pants, and he has like this little stand display piece. It's like rubble and such. But he took that one, took the head off of it. And I don't know where he got this. I've tried like Google lensing it to see if maybe I could find the guy that makes it. I think he's on Instagram. I don't think it's something that you can go and buy. I think you have to request if you can buy it from him. I forgot the name though, so I'll have to rewatch the video and then let you guys know where I'll get that in case you're trying to do what I'm doing. But he took the Marvel Select Hulk. He used green stuff instead of epoxy sculpt, and I don't know which is better or worse. I want to try green stuff, so maybe now that I have experience with epoxy sculpt, maybe next time I have money to buy some sculpts like that, I'll buy green stuff, see how that works. Maybe it's better, maybe it's worse, I don't know. But do that, right? And he put the spikes for the spine, same with the elbow spike and the calf spike, or maybe it's the heel spike. And he put all the details on there, right? He got the 3D printed head, he painted it, he had the perfect colors. Let me repeat, he had the perfect colors for that Abomination. He used a mixture of greens and browns and a light tannish color, and then I forget if he dry brushed it or if he washed it with a black to give it that, to let the details kind of sink in like that. So I'm going to try that because it looks super good. It was much bigger, but it's better because now the size is accurate. So, and same with the other Hulk. He used the I think he used the World War Hulk, and he cut the hair off of it and then just got an Edward Norton 3D printed head, which you can buy a 3-piece lot of the Edward Norton Hulk heads that are 3D printed on eBay for like $30, $35. And he did the same with that one. The only problem that I have with Edward Norton's Hulk and the action figure he used is it's got a lot of back muscle, and I can't stand that giant looking back. Like, he looks like a hunchback and a frog, like, made a baby. That was an absolute disgusting, horrific looking thing to look at. So I'll either have to get a Dremel and kind of take that off there. Maybe I'll just get like a big knife or cutting tool, slice it off, and then get epoxy sculpt to remold back muscles that are more flat and straight. That makes it more movie accurate. Or maybe I'll sand it and do that. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do for the Abomination. Super easy, super simple. And that Hulk action figure itself for the Abomination custom is about $45 on Amazon, right? I could probably find something cheaper on eBay or Mercari or something. But it is much cheaper opposed to buying parts for this guy, like $15 a piece, which adds up to around $60 to $70 itself. And then if I were to buy green stuff, and I don't know how much it costs, so I'm just going to assume that it's $50, like epoxy sculpt. If I bought new paints and all the supplies and the 3D printed head, I'm just going to estimate with the tools I need to make the custom, just the tools I need to make the custom, and then the body for it. I'm going to say the body's $40, $45. This is going to be about $60, $70. So you're looking about like $110, $120 opposed to paying an extra $60 on the $60 I've already paid for this guy, for him to still have issues, not be size accurate, and waste a lot of epoxy sculpt and such, which I don't want to do. If you guys have any suggestions on what I should use this for, because I've been advised that I should not throw this away, I should not throw it out. So at first I was thinking maybe if I were to do a stop motion with Abomination, to do the transformation, because I am horrible at anything that comes to 3D modeling. For the transformation, I could just have this guy in a couple frames and then get the actual custom Abomination figure as the transformation. So like normal sized dude, bigger looking dude, this guy, Abomination, to give that transformation effect that's supposed to be really fast. So that's all I got for that one, but I'd still need a head and, well, no, I just need a head. So if you guys have any suggestions or anything like that, you can just comment those down below. And if I can't find anything to do with it and you guys find any interest in that, let me know. I'll do like a giveaway and whatnot for free. So whatever you guys have in mind. Now, that's my good news, bad news, and the update for Abomination. So, let me get straight to the next thing. So, for starters, happy Halloween. I hope y'all are having a great October this year. I have a stop motion film in progress, and hopefully it will be completely finished and posted on the 30th, right, the day before Halloween, All Hallows Eve, and it's a Friday the 13th stop motion film. It's not based on any movie. It's my own little creation. I'll show the trailer clip here.
Let's hope this works.
That's just the trailer. I have a lot more of it in progress. I'm working, trying to edit things, see what I like most. My personal opinion, every time that I've ever done a stop motion, I've always rushed it. This one I'm not going to rush, but I am trying to do fast so I can get it posted on Halloween Day or All Hallows Eve. Either or is best. I tried to do it on Friday the 13th because that would be perfect. Because my videos, I try to post videos on Friday, and because I'm Friday the 13th, Jason, yeah, you get the idea. So, but I ran out of time, didn't have all the scenes finished and edited. But this is probably going to be my best stop motion yet because it's not rushed. I'm using the pro tips and guidance that I've had from all my research, and it looks pretty good, I do have to say. So there's that coming, I believe, on a Monday or a Tuesday. I think. I don't know. I'll have to double check my calendar. But Halloween or All Hallows Eve. So there's that to look forward to. Now, what I was going to bring out a second ago is my custom Horseman action figures. So here's Death. He is almost complete. He's like 85% complete. There's a couple more weapons and such that I want to have him to like hold and such. The first one that he already has done is this scythe, and this actually came with the skeleton figure that I'm using under the cloak, which the cloak hand sewn. But yeah, here's his scythe. It's a little short, but it works, and the chain is very long, but I just thought it'd be cool if you kind of like put it up on his sleeve and then kind of wrap it around his spine and such, because That looks cool. You won't be able to see it under the cloak, but it leaves a cool effect, and it gives the illusion that this kind of like produced itself out of his sleeve and into his hand. I'll find some way to do that for a stop motion film or something. But I'm not going to go into like articulation on this guy or anything until he's finished. But here's a close-up. This camera focus. So yeah. This cloak is a two-piece cloak. It has like another just like V drape looking thing that kind of comes down here to just cover the chest more. Because the rib cage was a little bit like, oh my gosh, the rib cage was shown a little bit too much, and I thought it'd leave a cooler effect if it had a little bit less cleavage on the rib cage. And I was right, it does. Also, I'm going to need something for the legs, because that looks absolutely hilarious. He's got this big, flowy cloak, and then just right there, boom, naked ankles. So, if you guys have any suggestions on what you want me to do, like, I was thinking maybe make him, like, some pants, but that never, I don't know, that just didn't sit well with me, the image of it. Maybe just take a piece of cloth and add more to the cloak here and kind of just make it longer and more flowing. But I do like to see his legs and feet. I just don't want just the bone. I'd prefer like pants or maybe just a longer cloth or something. I don't know. But there's that. I'm also making him two sickles with chains on them just like this. One of them, I can't remember if I finished or not. And then the other one is not even close to being done. But it has been a minute since I worked on it. I am trying to get back on making videos weekly. Of course, I was thinking about doing maybe like a video every other week. Because every time I say weekly, I'm always like, okay, I'm going to take a break for a second. And then I don't do it for like a month or two, which is absolutely horrendous. I hate it. Y'all hate it. It's horrible. Then we have Conquest. So I've seen a lot of controversy with whether Revelations, when it talks about Conquest, if it's Conquest or Pestilence, which has a huge impact on his visual figure and everything like that. I've always thought it was Conquest because it never once, when it was referring to Conquest, talked about it being Pestilence. Yes, it did say that there was going to be Pestilence in the book of Revelations, but it did not say that Conquest was Pestilence. But I did think it would be cool when I was molding this. I thought I had this wild idea. What if I went for like a white, gold, and blue theme? Right? A white, gold, and blue theme for Conquest, but for the head, what if I also had like a rotting-looking, disease-looking effect on one side of the head? So when I got this NECA Toys, or not NECA Toys, McFarlane Toys Witcher action figure. I don't know which one it is. I don't watch the show or play the games, so I don't know. But I cut the mouth here and put just epoxy sculpt. It's not painted, as you can see, but I thought, what if I just have it there? So I left part of the nose and the eye socket and the mouth with the teeth and the jaw like rotted off. And I don't want like an actual rotting effect. I want something cooler looking, a little less grody. So maybe it'll just be like where the skin is kind of pulled back but dried at the same time. Like a beef jerky kind of look or something. But yeah, so there's Conquest. And these are all based on my own imagination and like 50,000 different concept pictures that I've seen of them. And I've just kind of taken a little piece by piece of each 100,000 pictures and then kind of put all the pieces together. And yeah, so... But, yeah, it's basically all based on my imagination. Not from a game, show, comic, or anything like that. So there's Conquest, and he's got his golden bow and arrow and a dagger that I handmade. This I made out of a cereal box. I took multiple layers of one shape, kind of smashed together, and then I just got some white elastic band for that. Shout out to the YouTuber Zuby that does a lot of action figure custom pieces and such that I've never seen anyone else do. So shout out to her. Y'all go check out her channel. She's awesome. Gave me a lot of ideas that are super easy and simple, but really cool for action figures. And she does her own like stop motion and such. So y'all go check her out. Next we have War. This one is body wise completely done. Weapon wise, not much at all. I'm still working on his sword, and I wanted to make him a flail and maybe a mace, but it never got finished. But yeah. So when I was getting inspiration for the helmet, I looked at a lot of like gladiator helmets and such, and also a teapot. Because it has that very gladiator-looking look, and I kind of mashed together my own things. But I did want the big horn pieces because it gives it that really big, powerful look. Also, for those of you who can't tell, this was supposed to be a floating orb of fire. Okay, so I used the Star Wars flamethrower piece. I just found this thing on eBay for like $7. And I glued this thing on here multiple times, and it has come off so many times. So I finally decided, instead of using a hard substance to hold that together, I'm going to use a soft, rubbery, bendy substance. So I did. I used some clear adhesive caulk stuff, and I kind of glued it on there. That way, when I bump it, it just kind of does that instead of just breaking off instantly, which is so freaking aggravating. He also has a built-in sword on his forearm gauntlets here. It's a little short, so it's more of just like a design than an actual weapon or anything. But yeah. So War. And then last but certainly not least is little itty bitty tiny midget Famine. Famine, I am going to have to take his legs off, take toothpicks, and either like green stuff or epoxy sculpt, or just like glue from a hot glue gun, and make him longer legs, longer torso, longer arms, and that's going to be fun. But yeah, this guy's actually pretty cool. He's shorter than I wanted him to be because I bought this Miles Morales action figure on eBay for like $18, and I thought, oh, perfect, 6-inch, perfect. I got him, and he was a little midget. I was only slightly disappointed because I still could work with him, but whatever. But for Famine, I got most of my inspiration from that pick right there, but I also wanted him to have like a more like scary kind of like Hellraiser look. That's why he's got like the upper, well, they're supposed to be nipple rings, but I got them a little bit higher than the nipple, and they got little chains that actually come to the back here, and he has spikes stabbed into his back that he can just like pull out, grab in his hand, and then like Scorpion, get over here, freaking stab someone and whatnot. Also, this guy is pretty much the same when it comes to a work in progress, other than I have to make him taller and his arms longer. But I did want a much skinnier look for him. I wanted him short, but not this short. This guy's like 4 inches, so. But whatever. He looks good, and also his scales are also a work in progress. They haven't been painted, and I don't actually have the scale cups. For Christ's sake, would you stand? Jesus. He doesn't actually have like the scales on here, but this is supposed to be the staff that has the scales, and these were the chains that were supposed to hold the scales, and I was going to have like a little stick piece here where the scales would go. But yeah. So there's my action figure work in progress there. So thank you guys for watching. That's all the news and updates and such that I have for you guys right now. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys aren't disappointed about the Abomination situation, but actually excited for working on the new Abomination, which I think is simple and easy enough that there shouldn't be any problems other than maybe price range. And I don't want to give you an estimated time on when I will be able to make that action figure, purchase it, finish customizing it, and then make a video on it, because I've never given an accurate timeline with that Abomination over there. So I can't really, I don't want to, because if I feel like let's say I said like 2024, it would be complete. I feel like if I say that, it'll still be a work in progress or not even touched up a little bit. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoy content like this, please subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have something that you'd like to say about the Abomination or the Four Horsemen, my stop motion, or anything like that, please leave comments down below. I love to hear you guys' opinions and such. So, and if you have any ideas for anything I mentioned in here, please also leave them in the comments. I could use some inspiration for certain things. So, yeah, please subscribe. Helps the channel out a lot. And, yeah, thanks for watching.